September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while.
So friends, I hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you were able to spend time in whichever way you chose to spend time, whether that was with family or friends or even alone. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So as you can see, this is certainly going to be about Lauryn Hill. When I graduated from college when the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill came out, and I was just in love with this album. I remember being excited about buying it. And so I remember playing it every single day. I knew every song word for word. I would play it from the time I got up in the morning, basically until the time I went to bed. And so it was just that good. Now, Lauryn, that was one of the most critically acclaimed albums of all time. Lauryn's album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, went platinum, I believe, 8 times platinum. That means it sold about 8 million copies or so. It also earned her 5 Grammy nominations. Actually, no, let me take that back. I'm sorry. She won 5 Grammy Awards, including Best New Artist and Best Album or Album of the Year. Now, that's a huge deal when it comes to, I guess, white folks and the Grammys and whatever. But it was a big deal nonetheless, and it was worth it. That was one of the best albums ever. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. So Lauryn Hill earned that. So, of course, the Lauryn Hill from then doesn't necessarily match the Lauryn Hill that we hear about all the time now. It was just put out there in the media about a day ago that Lauryn, once again, did not show up to her show on time. She was about 2.5 hours late. And when she finally arrived to her show, I believe this was in Paris or somewhere over there in Europe. When she finally arrived to her show, she was only on stage for a good 30 minutes, maybe a little over 30 minutes. And then they cut her mic because if you don't know anything about these venues, they only give you a set time and they get charged if you go over that particular time. So they had to cut her mic. Her show was over. Naturally, a lot of people were pissed. Now, I don't know why people are still going to Lauryn Hill shows when you know how she is, when it's been blasted on social media for years and years and years that Lauryn Hill has a reputation of not showing up on time. So if you are still buying tickets to a Lauryn Hill concert, that is your fault and that is completely on you. All right. If you don't know by now, I don't know how you don't know. Okay. All right. Lauryn being late to a show is just like saying water is wet. But I didn't really want to harp on Lauryn Hill because, again, we kind of know this is how Lauryn rolls. This is how she's been for quite a while. And I've been trying to figure out what's going on with her and why this keeps happening. And I have just concluded, my opinion is that Lauryn just ain't feeling this and she just does not want to perform. She is probably more than likely performing out of obligation because she has debt. If you don't remember, Lauryn Hill had to serve a little time in jail because she was evading taxes. So it was like they got her up on some tax evasion charges and she had to spend time in federal prison. All right. So I can imagine that I'm sure she is still paying, right? Paying that off, paying her debts. And so this performing and touring is probably due to the fact that she has bills. I mean, she does have children, right? She has children with one of the Marleys. But also she probably has a lot of debt that she needs to pay. So this is what she has to do. But she clearly does not want to do it because if she enjoyed it even a little bit, she wouldn't disrespect her fans like this. She really just hates performing. This is not what she wants to do. And another thing, I can imagine, now you have to remember something here. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was extremely successful. And that sophomore jinx hit Lauryn. She tried to do an MTV Unplugged album a little bit after The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and it flopped. It just didn't go anywhere. It didn't do well. It sold barely anything. All right. People just wasn't feeling it. So imagine the pressure of trying to live up to something like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, that is a lot. And she's never really been able to recover from that. Now, Lauryn has been what I consider a lucky person. How many superstars do you know, or how many, I shouldn't say superstars, how many singers or celebrities do you know that have been able to coast on one album for the last 20 years? I'll wait. Please let me know in the comments if you know one entertainer who has been able to coast on one album for 20 years. That has been Lauryn Hill. She has been successful in being able to coast on one album. One album she's created, one album put out 20 years ago, and she's been coasting on it. Now, this would be all well and good if her finances were together and she could just kind of tour when she wanted to tour and she was just financially set. She could do that, right? People still want to see Lauryn Hill, and they have a lot of hope that she would get herself together and she would get into those shows and she would be there on time. But the truth of the matter is Lauryn Hill's never going to do that because Lauryn Hill hates that. But most people still give her a pass because they like, that was just a great album. I just want to be a part of it. I just want to see her. And from what I gather, a few of my friends went to a few of her shows, and they even said that when they went to her shows, even when she performs, even if she showed up an hour late and she still does some of those songs that you guys are and we're used to hearing, she rearranges the song so it doesn't necessarily even sound like the song that you heard on the album. So that in itself is a disappointment. It has been a disappointment for a lot of her fans. Like I said, Lauryn doesn't want to do this anymore. She hates this. And, she could never, just the fear that she probably built inside of her of not being able to live up to her first album, it just had to be debilitating to her. So on one hand, I actually feel sorry for her. I absolutely feel sorry for her that she has been, she's been put on this high pedestal that she can never get back up there again. There's just no way she can duplicate what she did with The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And you have to just admit, most entertainers can't duplicate their success that they got the first time. We just don't see any entertainers like they're able to duplicate that kind of success. And it's just been debilitating to her for the last 20 years. So again, if you decide to go to a Lauryn Hill concert, just know that you get what you deserve if you're still going out there paying for a ticket. And these promoters are getting everything they deserve because by now they should know that Lauryn Hill don't show up on time. So if you are still booking Lauryn Hill to perform at your venue, that's on you because Lauryn Hill ain't coming on time. Lauryn Hill just actually probably showed up to Aretha Franklin's funeral. She just arrived. And you know how long ago that's been. So that's just where Lauryn Hill is. She just don't care. All right. I believe she's a pure artist. She wants to make pure music, but she's just not in the headspace to give her fans what they want. And people just have to come to grips that the Lauryn Hill from 1998 is not the Lauryn Hill in 2018. She's tuned out. She's over it. It's over. It's done. And we just got to let that ride. We just got to just pull out your CD from 1998 and enjoy that. Later, y'all.